Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you guys for joining me here. And so we're going to be doing a 7-round mock draft here for the Chicago Bears. And so this will be interesting. We only got 5 picks to work with right now, and our first pick doesn't come till round 2. But obviously, last year in the 2021 NFL draft, we took our quarterback of the future that we believe to be our quarterback of the future in Justin Fields out of the Ohio State University. And so obviously got to put him in the best position to have more success here in year 2. And so that's going to start a lot with obviously having some weapons for him to throw to and solidifying the offensive line, particularly that right side along with the center position as well. We got to make sure that we have some guys that can come in here and protect for Justin Fields. He can't be taking the type of hits that he took in year 1, especially with the style of play that he's going to be having as well. So definitely we got to make sure that we do that as well. But obviously with just 5 picks here, it's going to be tough to address all the needs. You cannot forget cornerback was certainly an area of weakness for the Chicago Bears roster. So that's certainly something that, they'll be keeping a knife out for as well. But the good news is they rank 11th in turn of the salary cap available to them. So they'll have some money that they can use this offseason, and they're definitely going to want to make sure that they go out there and acquire some guys in free agency, probably to address that offensive line for the most part in free agency, along with that cornerback, that secondary position in general. And so we'll see how that goes. But obviously some guys that do have in free agency that's going to be pending free agents. Allen Robinson, that's the first guy that comes to mind right there. I know that he's probably going to be dipping out, to leave that. That's the expectation there. And so what do you do with a guy like, obviously you look at your, backup running back situation, a guy like Damian Williams, he could be hitting the market, tight end Jimmy Graham, he's 35 years old now, Andy Dalton, is he going to be coming back? Will he be gone? So many questions there. So definitely, using this draft right here, the draft is just going to be a piece of the puzzle there, but free agency is probably going to be mostly how the Chicago Bears do their improvement. But with that being said, though, let's dive in and see how the board plays out. And so we'll let the first round pick play out here and see who's on the board when it's our next selection. But definitely looking lineman, receiver, and defensive back. Okay, just looking through some of the picks we've got going on here. Okay, so just to summarize what happened in the first round, let's see if there's anything that sticks out to us. So they have Hutchinson going to Detroit in this one. Evan Neal to Houston, I like that. And then Derek Stingley Jr. to the Jets. I think that would be very nice right there if they took that route. I'm not sure if they will, but if they did, I'm starting to hear that maybe Garrett Wilson might be the idea candidate. The Jets really like him a lot. We'll see how that plays out. But if, Kyle Hamilton for the Giants, you're happy with that scenario right there. You really are. For Carolina, offensive tackle or quarterback, definitely understand that. They had Atlanta still going cornerback here at Ahmad Gardner, so passing on Garrett Wilson, who fell to the Jets here with their second. So, if you're the Jets, if you're able to get Derek Stingley and Garrett Wilson, heck yeah, you're happy about that. They have Broncos going quarterback and Kenny Pickett. Washington Commanders taking Matt Carroll. And so Chris Olave ended up with the Vikings here. Okay, Drake. So, yeah, just looking through the first-round picks here. I won't go through all the picks here, but that is interesting there. Cardinals getting cornerback that they can certainly need. Cowboys too. So, interesting stuff. Malik Willis getting taken by Detroit. All right, so let's start the next round. This is where things get interesting. All right, so we got a trade proposal here. And so right off the bat, I know that we are shorthanded already when it comes to our picks. So just a matter of which of these picks do I like better. And so basically they're the same thing, a second and a third round. The only difference is the Ravens will be selecting before the Chargers. So for me, that is enough right there to where we will go ahead and gladly accept that. Add another pick here just to move it back a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started here on this round. So right now we've got 6 picks to work with. Okay, so let's see who's still on the board here when we're selecting. All right, so now we're finally on the clock, guys. And so, yeah, move this back a couple to pick up that extra third-round pick. That's going to be vital for us. And what I'm looking at right now is I see for us, there's a couple options that we can take here, but I'm loving the fact that we have Kyler Gordon here at cornerback if that's the route we choose to go. We could opt to go receiver David Bell right now out of Purdue. We certainly can use a wide receiver, no doubt about that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and, I mean, just the fact that Kyler Gordon right here is on the board from Washington. So let me just, that's something that I seriously want to consider right there. So, because cornerback is something that we certainly can use to improve upon. That is no doubt about that. So, do I want to go wide receiver right now? I will probably just go. I mean, David Bell, he's a great receiver. Honestly, a great receiver coming out of Purdue. I feel like he has some upside to him. And so it's just a matter of, do I want to go ahead and take a receiver right now? Let's see what other receivers we've got currently available. And so, all right. So for me, it's really between these top two receivers right here. Do I take David Bell? Do I take John Mechie? I mean, this might be our best chance right here to upgrade that wide receiver position, honestly. And so I think in that scenario, we'd probably be better off going with the wide receiver, to be honest, in that scenario. But let me see real quick. Okay, so all right, so let's take the scouting report real quick from Pro Football Focus when it comes to John Mechie, because that's the route we can take as well. And I do like this route right here for Chicago. And so, I mean, he's added more to his physical game this past season. And he's still, they say he still gets pushed around a little early, but he comes on strong toward the end of the season. Came on strong towards the end of the season with 56 catches, 682 yards, and 5 scores over Bama's final 6 games alone. So that's great right there for him. David Bell, one of the most productive receivers. I mean, we're talking about 93 catches, 1,275 yards receiving, and so went for over 200 against both Iowa and Michigan State. And so this is tough to pass on, because I don't want to pass on this kid and end up not being able to take him. So I think that, with this, I mean, we could go cornerback as well, because I'm liking the cornerback board here as well. So that's certainly an area that we could be looking at here. So, but I feel like the most important priority, honestly, is to ensure that we do have weapons here for Justin Fields to work with. I mean, in free agency, we can get a cornerback. Now, Kyler Gordon, two-time Bruce Fieldsman's Freak List member, and has played, like one of this past season. He's played both outside and slot corner. And so that's tough to come by, though. That's tough to come by, honestly. And so, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the receiver, David Bell. And so I feel like we really got to take some receivers here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we went ahead and got a receiver here to help Justin Fields out here in the second round. It was tough, honestly, for me to pass on a cornerback here. I really wanted to take Kyler Gordon, but ultimately I want to help Justin Fields succeed. And that is my job right now in this draft, is to get him as many weapons as I can and then, fill out the rest in free agency. So that's the choice we took here, David Bell out of Purdue. So let's get this next round started. I'm hoping that some of the guys that okay, so let's see. So we've got a couple more options here that I could take. And so obviously the Eagles, they pick first and basically both second and third here, just to move back a couple spots. Sure, I'll accept that here. Trade accepted. All right, look at this. We're out here adding more picks here. So, I mean, we started off at 5 now, and so we're continuing to build upon that. Let's get this round started, though. So we're here in round 3. We still got some needs that we need to address here. Let's see how this board plays out. All right, so I am on the clock right now. So, pick number 7. Let's see who is on the board here. And so we've got a cornerback out of UTSA. And so let me see what's left right now in terms of on the receiver board real quick. And so, okay, so I think right now maybe a good time possibly to pick up a cornerback. It's just a matter of which cornerback am I going to pick up. I could go offensive tackle as well. Let's see what's up there for offensive tackle. These guys, guard. And so I could go guard here. I mean, I feel like Justin Schaefer from Georgia, that might be a nice pick right there, actually, thinking about it right here. Because we certainly do need to make sure that we protect, and we need some guys on the right side of the offensive line. And guard is certainly something we can certainly use. No doubt about that. And so give me 1 second here. Let's see. Do I want to take Justin Schaefer now? I feel like that probably would be the wise thing to do because we certainly need to add some protection there. So a guy like him, that would certainly be huge right there. So let's go ahead and take the big guy from the University of Georgia there. You know he can definitely come in there, certainly provide some run blocking, that is for sure. So we're going to go ahead and take a guard here. And so we'll add that. All right, we've got another third round pick coming up. So let's see who's on the board with that. But right now, so far, we've been offense here, receiver, guard. Wouldn't be surprised if we end up double dipping at receiver as well, quite frankly. Let's see who's all on the board here. All right, so got some good running backs up there. Let's see. So at this point of the stage, all right, let's see. So we may go ahead and end up taking another receiver. That is very well. I mean, because I did plan on double dipping at the receiver position for sure. Now, do we want to take the kid from Nevada or do we want to go Pickens from Georgia? That is the question there. But do we want to go ahead and take a receiver? Let's see what cornerbacks we got available as well. And so Marcus Jones from Houston. And then there's also Jalen Armour Davis. And so we've got some options here at cornerback. This may be a good time to go ahead and take a cornerback, I think, looking at how the board has played out so far. So let me take a quick look here at the scouting report for these guys. And so, all right, so Marcus Jones, I mean, he can also definitely, add some value to the, punt return game as well on kick punt returns. And so he may very well be the best at that. But he's, also got that playmaking skills at the cornerback position. I mean, picking off 5 passes, broke up 12 passes this season. So he's certainly someone to focus on. I mean, matter of fact, Pro Football Focus has him ranked as the number 9th overall corner and 68 overall on the big board. And so, I mean, that's definitely something that we're going to love. That's something that we are going to love here. He's dynamic, got that playmaker ability to him. And so I think Marcus Jones is going to be the pick that we're going to take here. So we went ahead and took a cornerback here. So now we've got a piece on defense as well in that cornerback position. Obviously, it's not going to be stopped. It's not going to stop there, but we'll see how the board shapes up when it's all said and done and we're picking again. But next time it will be in the 4th round. So far we've taken David Bell with pick number 2 at Purdue. We've taken a guard, from Georgia, and now we've taken our cornerback from Houston. Okay, so we've got a trade offer here. And so Broncos are out of their mind. If they think I'm going to trade a future 3rd round pick just to move up 9 spots, they are out of their mind. Now, Tampa Bay on the other end, to move back that late in the 4th, I feel like we're good. So let's go ahead and continue this. We're good. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started. Now, at this point, we can definitely use a center or a tackle. That is for sure. If I see another receiver that I like, then I'll probably go ahead and take that. Or if I see a running back that really stands out to me. Let's see. We've got trade proposals coming in. And so for my 4th round pick, Browns want a 5th, 6th, and a future 6th. I mean, if I was a real GM, probably would maybe consider that. If I knew that, if next year's pick actually mattered. Let's see. I think I'm actually happy with where I am right now. I'm going to go ahead and decline these. Okay, but I'm on the clock now. So, we've got some options to play with here. And so I think ultimately I see James Cook up there. And so I'm very intrigued because I like James Cook as a running back. And we're definitely going to need a backup running back. That is for sure. I did not intend on drafting a running back in round 4, but someone like James Cook, I mean, that may be someone that may be hard to overlook there. And so let's see what else we got on the board, though. Because we can always get us. Okay, so we got that safety from Nebraska. He's on the board here. Let's see what we look like at the receiver position here. So, okay, so looking at some of the receivers that they have available and where we are right now in the fourth round, let's see what about offensive tackle. So, okay, so I mean James Cook. I mean, if you trust the board and right now where they have him currently ranked, that could definitely be something to keep an eye out for. All right, so I think I'm going to go ahead and let me just double check and see what the safety position brings. I mean, I feel like if I don't take a safety now, that could come back to haunt us. But I can take a safety later on here. Again, in free agency, there's going to be a lot of guys that you can, fill the gaps with in free agency. So you've got to trust your board. And so, do I want to take? I'll take James Cook here. I'll draft him. I know we are losing the running back potentially at that backup spot. And so just having a guy like James Cook that can come in there, I mean, definitely he comes with a lot of potential. So I like that pick here for the Chicago Bears. Okay, so that's going to put us at round 5 here. All right, so far in this one, I mean, we have been tackling some needs. That is for sure. We've definitely been tackling some needs here. Um, got a receiver, guard, cornerback, running back. I definitely wanted to double dip in terms of getting another receiver. We'll just see how the board plays out, but I definitely want to get a tackle as well. All right, so I'm on the clock here. Let's see what we've got so far. So we've got some corners here. It's a good chance to look at the center position. So Cameron Jurgens out of Nebraska. That is a route that we can take right now. And so let's see, what about tackle? Got a lot of, I think right now is a perfect time to go ahead and draft us a center here. So Cameron Jurgens out of Nebraska. So now we've went ahead and got our center. And so we've got another, we'll run the clock again here. And so this time we're going to go ahead and go offensive tackle here. We're going to go ahead and take the kid from Southern Utah, Braxton Jones, take him. So now we went ahead and acquired another tackle. And so now it's really going to come down to we can either go safety or right receiver, honestly, coming up. But that's going to have to wait till round 6. And just to see how the board is shaping up. All right, so let's start the round here. So round 6. And again, we currently don't have any picks here outside of number 7 here. So, all right, let's see. Ooh, already instantly my eyes is drawn to the right receiver, Charleston Rambo from the University of Miami. So give me 1 second here to pull up some stuff on him. Let's see. All right, so good old Charleston Rambo. How did he do last year? He's 6'1", about 185 pounds. And so last year he had 79 catches for 1,172 yards receiving, averaged almost 15 yards a catch, had 7 receiving touchdowns. And so, yeah, definitely I like the upside to bring a guy like this, especially obviously getting him late in the draft. That's going to be something that would be, I think, great right here. So I feel like I have to take him right here. So I'll go ahead and double dip at the right receiver position here in the 6th round. And so that pretty much does it there, as we do not have a 7th round pick or another 6th rounder. So, but yeah, just to recap, we got 2 receivers out of this draft. And so David Bell's going to come in immediately. But Rambo is someone that I believe, has that potential for the future. Then obviously we did acquire, the guard, Justin Schaefer from Georgia. That's going to be good up front there. We got him in the 3rd round. He'll be on that right side of the line. Then we got Marcus Jones out there at cornerback. Not only is going to be help in the secondary, but also special teams as well. So certainly excited about that. And so just for them to go ahead and finish out their 7th round here. And then at center, the kid from Nebraska, Cameron Jurgens, and we've also got an offensive tackle, Braxton Jones, out of Southern Utah. So, yeah, just again, let them finish out their 7th round pick here. But essentially, that is our picks there. And so, let me know what you think about this. And so, obviously, for the Chicago Bears came in here shorthanded. And as I mentioned, for the Chicago Bears this offseason, most of their work is going to be done throughout free agency. So the guys that you bring in through the draft here, you'll have some guys that will come in and be able to compete and stuff. But ultimately, free agency is going to be where the Bears are going to have to leave their mark here. But in a scenario like this, it was important to come away with a wide receiver for Justin Fields to work with, as long as some protection as well. And we were able to pick up a cornerback as well to help that secondary out there. Wanted to get a safety there. Probably if I had one more pick, I definitely would have went safety for sure. But that is how things happen to play out. So. But there you have it, guys. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate that. And so, yeah, let me know what picks you think that you love the most, your favorite picks. And also, if you had to change a couple things, let me know that as well. Certainly looking forward to hearing from you Chicago Bears fans, though, and let me know your thoughts on this one, because I certainly appreciate your feedback there. As I know you guys know your Bears better than anyone else does. So I appreciate you guys so much for joining. Hope you guys enjoyed this mock draft here. It's my first time using the Chicago Bears for this mock draft here, so I hope you guys appreciate that. And, hey, looking forward to bringing more content to you guys soon.